In the dark annals of criminal history, the name Jeffrey Dahmer stands out as one of the most infamous and chilling serial killers of the 20th century. Dubbed the Milwaukee Cannibal, Dahmer's heinous crimes shocked the world and left a trail of devastation and horror in their wake. This video delves into the disturbing crime history of Jeffrey Dahmer, exploring the twisted mind behind the brutal acts that earned him a place among the most notorious serial killers in history. Before we begin, please like and subscribe to our channel. Early life and troubled childhood. Jeffrey Dahmer was born on May 21, 1960, in West Allis, Wisconsin. From an early age, he displayed disturbing behavior, such as an interest in dismembering animals and collecting roadkill. His parents' divorce and subsequent remarriage added to the tumultuous environment he grew up in. Throughout his childhood and adolescence, Dahmer's dark tendencies intensified, foreshadowing the chilling path he would later embark upon. The troubled childhood and early signs of aberrant behavior have been subject to scrutiny by psychologists and criminologists seeking to understand the factors that contributed to his later actions as one of the most notorious serial killers in history. Jeffrey Dahmer's murders. During his criminal spree between 1978 and 1991, Jeffrey Dahmer committed a series of gruesome murders, which earned him the infamous moniker Milwaukee Cannibal. He was responsible for the deaths of at least 17 young men and boys. Dahmer's modus operandi involved luring his victims to his apartment, where he drugged, sexually assaulted, and murdered them. He engaged in acts of necrophilia and dismembered the bodies. Dahmer's depravity didn't end there. He also preserved body parts as grotesque mementos. The extent of his atrocities shocked the world and left a lasting impact on the collective consciousness as one of the most notorious serial killers in history. A gradual descent into darkness. Dahmer's criminal history began in 1978 when he committed his first murder. Over the next 13 years, he would go on to claim the lives of at least 17 young men and boys, most of whom were of Asian or African American descent. His modus operandi involved luring his victims to his apartment, where he drugged, sexually assaulted, and murdered them. Dahmer's depravity didn't end there. He engaged in acts of necrophilia, dismembered the bodies, and preserved body parts as grotesque mementos. The arrest and investigation. In July 1991, the reign of terror of Jeffrey Dahmer, the Milwaukee Cannibal, came to an end when a potential victim managed to escape his clutches and flagged down 2 police officers. The victim led the officers to Dahmer's apartment, where they discovered a horrifying scene of blood, body parts, and evidence of his unspeakable crimes. Dahmer was immediately taken into custody, and the subsequent investigation uncovered the full extent of his monstrous acts. The discovery shocked the nation and the world as details of his depravity became public knowledge. The arrest and investigation brought closure to the families of his victims, while setting the stage for one of the most infamous trials in criminal history. The trial and conviction. The trial of Jeffrey Dahmer began in January 1992, where the prosecution presented overwhelming evidence against him. His defense team focused on Dahmer's psychological issues, arguing for his sanity to be taken into account. Despite their efforts, Dahmer was found guilty of all charges and received multiple life sentences for his monstrous crimes. The conviction marked the end of a lengthy legal process that sought to hold him accountable for the atrocities he committed. Dahmer's trial and subsequent sentencing remain among the most notorious in criminal history, leaving a lasting impact on the American justice system and society's understanding of serial killers and their motivations. The end of the Milwaukee Cannibal. The end of the Milwaukee Cannibal, Jeffrey Dahmer, came while he was serving his multiple life sentences at the Columbia Correctional Institution in Portage, Wisconsin. On November 28, 1994, Dahmer was brutally attacked by a fellow inmate, Christopher Scarver, during a routine work detail in the prison gymnasium. Scarver, also serving a life sentence for a different murder, had reportedly been simmering with anger and resentment towards Dahmer, disgusted by his heinous crimes, particularly his acts of necrophilia and cannibalism. Seizing the opportunity, Scarver confronted Dahmer, armed with a metal bar he had removed from exercise equipment, launching a ferocious and fatal assault. The news of Dahmer's violent demise sent shockwaves through the nation, closing the chapter on his reign of terror, but leaving lingering questions about the complexities of the prison system and the consequences of unimaginable evil. Legacy and impact. Jeffrey Dahmer's legacy and impact are haunting reminders of the depths of human depravity. His heinous crimes have left an indelible mark on society, sparking fear and raising public awareness about potential dangers. The case prompted critical discussions on criminal psychology, mental health, and victim rights. Media coverage fueled a fascination with true crime, while legal and judicial reforms were debated to better handle such cases. Above all, Dahmer's crimes forever changed the lives of his victims' families, who continue to seek justice and advocate for support. As we reflect on his dark legacy, we must strive to learn from the past and work towards a safer and more compassionate world for all. Motivations behind Jeffrey Dahmer's murders. The motivations behind Jeffrey Dahmer's heinous murders have been a subject of intense speculation and study by psychologists, criminal profilers, and experts in the field of criminology. While no single factor can fully explain his actions, a combination of psychological, social, and environmental influences likely played a role. Dahmer's troubled childhood, marked by a fractured family and a sense of isolation, may have contributed to the development of his dark and violent tendencies. Additionally, his struggle with feelings of inadequacy, a desire for power and control, and an intense fascination with death and violence may have further fueled his sinister fantasies. The thrill of dominance and the sense of possessing his victims could have served as a twisted outlet for his emotional struggles and a way to exert control over a world that had felt chaotic and disordered to him. While these factors provide some insight into the complex psychology of Jeffrey Dahmer, the true reasons behind his murderous actions remain an enigma, forever shrouding his motivations in darkness and horror. Conclusion. Jeffrey Dahmer's life and crimes left an indelible mark on history, serving as a haunting reminder of the depths of human depravity. His heinous acts shocked the world, leaving a trail of devastation and horror in their wake. Despite attempts to understand his motivations through psychological analysis and criminal profiling, the true reasons behind his murderous actions remain elusive. His trial and conviction provided a semblance of justice for his victims and their families, but his legacy continues to captivate and disturb the collective consciousness. As we reflect on the chilling impact of his crimes, may we strive to learn from the past and work towards a world that fosters understanding, compassion, and the prevention of such unimaginable evil. The case of Jeffrey Dahmer serves as a grim reminder of the importance of vigilant law enforcement, mental health support, and a commitment to safeguarding our communities from the darkness that lurks within. As we conclude this chilling journey into the life and crimes of Jeffrey Dahmer, we hope you found this video informative and thought-provoking. If you appreciated the content and want to explore more true crime stories and historical insights, remember to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for regular updates. And we look forward to sharing more gripping stories with you.